is so useful pushing up into enemy jungle and taking over territory. But now we're still have this magnifying glass on the bottom lane. And I feel like Cloud9 have their pick here for Berserker.
All right. Do they go ahead and lock in this Varus? Yes, they will. Okay, this is something that I was kind of hoping to see some of. It's not Lucian for C9. They definitely had some rough performances on that. They're going to put Berserker back on the Varus. What is Vulcan going to play next to him to ensure some 2v2 success here? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, looks like they might be going for the answer into the Udyr first. To me, I haven't been a huge fan of the Ksante into the Udyr, but there are a lot of magic resist first items you can rush now. The Hollow Radiance helps you with wave clear and is decent magic resist for the Phoenix form. So a lot of people have been going that route and just having Ksante as the answer for later.
All right, let's see here.
Hey! Since we have our pre-recorded drafts, we get the Cloud9 chance during. They just got out of their practice tools. Everyone was practicing up a couple of special matchups here and getting the hype ready.
So we've got the Senna locked in here for NRG. FBI and Huhi not shy at all about playing the Senna Tahm Kench if it's a draft where they feel like it's a good pick to go with. Let's see if they want to go ahead and lock in that second half, or if they have something even spicier planned to pair with the Senna. Yep, I wouldn't be surprised at all. There it is, TK locked in. How do you feel about Senna TK lanes compared to traditional ones?
Well, Senna's got like a new build right now. She doesn't go like the support item anymore, like as the first item. So she's probably going to start the D-Blade and start farming a little bit and potentially buying the support item on the first base. But I've seen it being skipped overall too, so we'll see.
If you were playing for Cloud9, what would you want to pair with Berserker's Varus into a Senna Tahm Kench? That lane has so much healing.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to find a good support. I think Millia would be a decent one, maybe potentially Renata as well. So that's probably what I would go for.
Yeah, Renata definitely has a good counter engage.
Or the Millia.
Well, now
they might also want some engage.
Yeah, also important to keep an eye on what's going to get banned out. The Huhi banned out by C9, thinking, okay, maybe they've got some sort of some Huhi tech cooking up against the Azir here in mid lane. The Azir was locked in before we got to the second half of the ban, so we'll see what NRG wants to look at here. The Orianna, remember, was already banned out in the first half of the draft.
They definitely need, some good DPS mage here for Palafox. I know that Taliyah got buffed on this patch. Both Palafox and Contractz are big Taliyah players, so it could be a big flex pick for them, jungle / mid lane. And Taliyah is very commonly a pick into the Azir. Azir has a lot of answers now since it's the most picked champion, but the Taliyah definitely is an option there.
They might take the Corki, but Corki just got nerfed recently, so
yeah,
there's a potential for that.
The interaction between Eclipse and Malignance being removed, so you don't just automatically get the proc with a single rocket. Akali banned out. Karma, who's now a multi-flex pick, banned out. Huhi, that can often be played in mid lane, sometimes other places, but you mostly see him mid, banned out. Lots of mid focus, but the final one will be that Melio, one of the options you were talking about that could be a good pairing with the Varus. The Renata is still there. We'll see if C9 wants to go for that. They still have to pick both that support and jungle. Which one are they going to leave for last? My guess would be support.
Counter pick definitely has a lot more value there, but we're already seeing the whole bottom lane here with the Senna TK, so they lock it in.
Wow.
Okay. Now, Bard has been going with a super tanky build too, so it's one of the most annoying supports for the rest of the map right now. Getting out there, and we'll see if Vulcan can actually split up his time and try and help out with the grubs, try and help out Blaber in controlling the rest of the map early on. NRG were one of the classic combos of having Palafox on a kill-oriented mage when you combine it with the Vi, and that's the one I was talking about. The Taliyah buffs coming in hot. I know both these players love this champion, and when you have a Vi, guaranteed setup for the seismic shove for Taliyah. That's a classic kill combo for NRG.
It's like, whoa, let's see. We've been already seeing some pics of this. If C9 wants to go for it, they could lock it in.
Sejuani.
A little bit less exciting, yeah.
I hear audible groans from the crowd.
Brand, come on.
They wanted to burn it all down. Brand did get some pretty substantial nerfs. They didn't completely kill the champion or anything, but it did bring him a lot more in line. They slowed down the clear a little bit with some of the Brand nerfs on this patch, and so Blaber going to go with another tank. Cloud9 have not had great success with him on tanks so far this season.
Yeah.
They got all their wins when he was on, DPS type of champions, but they are going to have a very, very beefy front line, especially if Vulcan also builds tanky. Cloud9 with very much a two-threat composition here.
So, Turtle, let me ask you this. Seeing all 10 champions locked in, which one of these drafts would you rather be playing now?
I personally would rather be playing on NRG side. I just think it's much easier to execute. Like, the buy into the Taliyah combo is just very easy. Udyr has prio. I think bot lane's going to have prio too. So it seems like they have 2 shoving lanes and a Taliyah that can roam to either. I would give the early game to NRG right now for the comp.
I definitely agree because I like having the ball in your court, so to speak, and NRG, they're the ones that have a lot of the options for proactive moves. Udyr topside too should have full control there, so Contractz and Palafox are definitely set up in this game to be the ones to make some early moves, try and get those early kills. And then later on, even if Vi goes too deep, you have a Tahm Kench on your team to save her as well, so I feel like they have a really good way to execute on team fights. Cloud9 though, obviously really good scaling there with the Azir. So they also
can't count out the Azir.
All right, is that what you're doing if you're Cloud9? Because what I'm about to ask you is you guys are giving me the whole movie trailer for this NRG protagonist moment here. What if you do if you're C9? What do you do if you're trying to stop this loss streak and respond to this draft?
I think for C9, they just have to get Jojo in like a comfortable position to potentially push waves and get the free farm. I think when Azir gets 1 or 2 items, he can definitely hold on to the game for them.
I'm a little bit worried for Cloud9 because in a lot of their recent losses where this team is kind of inexplicably begun to free fall, they have had a lack of proactive plays. And in this game, it seems like that might be the case again. Of course, they do have Bard and they do have Sejuani who can make some action early. So maybe they'll be able to get something going. Definitely need to have take a little bit more control than they have so far this season, though.
Woo. All right, let's get into it. See what goes down. Cloud9 trying to fight back after a disastrous Super Week. I believe we have the numbers for how long it's been since this team has lost 5 games in a row. 2,774 days. That's 7 point something years. A very, very long time, but NRG have the opportunity to make that a reality here today. You guys have already been talking about how you expect NRG to be able to control the early game, and C9 is going to have to find some sort of response here because you can see their upcoming schedule is not going to be easy.
Definitely does not get easier from here. They did win the first time this season, though, versus NRG. The first game of the entire split was a Cloud9 victory. Back in the beginning when they were still a super team.
We'll see how super they're feeling after this one. I'm going to have a lot of eyes on this bottom lane in particular. Berserker and Vulcan, when Berserker throughout a lot of last year, the year before, was being talked about as just the bar for mechanical excellence in the AD carry role. Him and Vulcan having some rough laning phases, some tough 2v2s last week. As Dhokla's just trying to annoy these guys. The awakened glacial attack from Udyr is very obnoxious. Blaber losing some extra HP there, as even though it was a 2v1 defense, Dhokla can still trade pretty even.
Yeah, the North American Udyrs have been really, really good at this, constantly starting out to invade enemy jungle, getting them a little bit behind.
There's some early bot action.
Well, yeah, Huhi's hungry, but Vulcan can get away. There we go, one last lick, and stun them.
All right, Turtle, walk us through the early stages from the point of view from the Senna Tahm Kench.
Well, for them, they just want to like keep the wave push. Oh, they're going to go for an all-in right here too.
Yeah, looks like it. Berserker taken low. Vulcan even lower, below 200 HP there on the support as NRG's duo
out of, Varus.
Immediately establishes control.
Yeah, NRG just has to maintain this control now. The lane is pretty much over. I don't see how Varus is going to get back into this one.
All right, constant push on bottom side. Sejuani is pathing down towards bottom, and Contractz actually just did his red quadrant and is coming for an invade here.
Okay. Let's see if he runs into Blaber. What sort of jungle violence we get here in this blue side quadrant for C9. Instead, they may just try to turn it into a dive. The wave about to crash into the turret. Vulcan and Berserker hitting level 2. Contractz coming in, looks for the Vault Breaker, and he breaks Vulcan's jaw. Now Berserker under the pressure next. A little bit more damage is required. Oh no, it's some goofy plays coming out from NRG as Huhi just barely gets away from the turret shot. It ends up being a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, Contractz just needed to back out and like reset the tower aggro there.
Oh, Berserker! He's about to drop. Huhi's coming in. What about the tongue? He flashes. He misses. Oh, it's frog legs for dinner. Goodbye. Good night. Berserker gets paid. And FBI drops again. NRG, I don't even know what the hell that was. As Dhokla versus Fudge continues with the 1v1 in the top side, but Dokla's fast enough to get away. It's a 3-1 game before 4 minutes.
Well, Flowers, we were looking for Cloud9 to bounce back and have some early moves. It actually is fully reactive, though. It's not even them being proactive on the plays. It's NRG kind of spoofing the dive here. Now, the first kill is perfect. It's just that when he goes for a little bit more here,
Back out.
yeah. Definitely, you either got to just commit to it and get the kill on Berserker under tower and sacrifice your life there, because they had the ward up by blue buff to see the path down from Blaber. But then, yeah, once Huhi goes all in for it.
It's very difficult to redive unless you reset the tower aggro, so
Yeah.
it was a pretty hasty play from Contractz there.
And I love the fact that you brought it up. It was reactive, Kobe. This is one of those ones that NRG, they full forced the whole situation, and now they're going to suffer the consequences for it. Still only about a 500 gold lead for C9, so not like they lost massive minion waves or anything off of that, but NRG now also has the push mounting up again. You can see all of these minions piling up here. It'll be another big wave crashing into the bot side turret. Top side is Udyr being Udyr, as you might expect. Tough to lane against him. Very, very strong. Been kind of the premier go-to pick that there's not really great answers into so far. Nice wombo combo back in the mid lane here. Jojo tries to get away, but Palafox is ready to knock him down. Blaber, seeing him, maybe there's an angle. Try to get one back on a Palafox. Throws out the W, doesn't find a ton, just a little under Contractz, but the burst power of Sejuani, not usually that scary. Blaber's coming in, but Palafox barely gets away. Contractz and Palafox really seeing how far they can push this one. Blaber ends up forcing the flash of the NRG mid lane.
This game's extremely high action.
Blaber is not done yet either. He wants to steal away the chickens. Contractz knows he's there, but he's only got 200 HP as the Vi man. He can't go contest.
Yeah, Blaber's a pretty beefy pig here. He got both of the early kills. Huhi wants to get something back, though.
Going for the Abyssal Dive, but Blaber can just jump out of the way. Arctic Assault clears the distance, so nothing more to punish or catch here for NRG.
Yeah, but Blaber getting 2 of the early kills off the tower dive to the early Bomby Cinder means that he's able to bully in, get a little bit of counter jungle back, since Contractz had stolen away his Krugs preemptively before that fight even turned out. Maybe this means they just use this priority to start up the dragon. Blaber's going to leash it out right now while Vulcan and Berserker push up on this bottom wave. And they have Jojo pushing in mid lane too, so.
Be a free dragon. It's very important for NRG to get, start stacking the grubs as early as they can in this game, because they have the Udyr top. Should use that to their advantage.
So you'd just rather see grub prio over early drakes, anything like that for NRG's side?
Well, for NRG's side, yeah, I think so.
Get that split pushing going. A little bit more value, a little bit easier.
Now you can see a ward inside that grub pit, though, placed down by C9 as they take the Drake, so they can at least be wary if NRG is trying to do those cross-map trades. Palafox level 6 here on the Taliyah. I always want to see first Taliyah ultimates result in some kind of a big movement here. It's similar to something like a Nocturne, where it's long cooldown, but you have so much presence from somewhere else. I want to see him affect the other lanes with it. Jojo with the push right now. And Palafox still looking.
Since Jojo had to use his flash the last time they got the kill on him too, as soon as Contractz gets to level 6, I think it's going to be a repeat Contractz gank in mid lane.
Okay.
No flash on the Azir, ultimate into seismic shove, look for the kill combo again. Contractz, if he's able to get the grubs, those things do give a lot of experience.
This grub's going to be hard. Blaber's
Blaber's
already
6,
level 6,
Blaber.
yeah.
Blaber having the edge with that level 6 is a big difference maker. But he's just happy to start off with the chicken camp right now. Contractz secures the first grub. Moving on to number 2. These are not going down exceptionally quickly.
Yeah, but Udyr's got so much prio on top side, constantly pushing here, is able to make sure Blaber will secure the grubs for NRG. So on Turtle's checklist for NRG,
okay,
nice.
they've corrected the game from the early dive. Should be able to get all 3.
Oh, they see Sejuani here?
Yep. Oh, they're going to go all out. Fudge is ready to bring
no.
Dhokla into a 2v1 before
well played.
Contractz can even make it over. I feel like, man, you can never, ever forget about where Ksante is in respect to the terrain, or you're going to end up in a spot like that.
Beautiful stuff there. Able to bring him back into his own pocket next to his jungler. But here's the repeat gank. towards mid lane. Jojo slides into tower, no problem for him.
Yeah, he's not worried about that one. Even with the thumbs up, that's the gank's not going to do anything. Okay, see you later. I'll blow the E cooldown.
C9's in a pretty prime position now.
What do you want to see him do from here?
They just need to maintain and make sure Azir can push waves safely while he has no flash right now.
All right, so they had a poll in chat. Who's going to bounce back from Super Week? Because both these teams had a little bit of a rough Super Week. Cloud9 obviously more of a rough one. But chat sided very slim margins for NRG.
Okay.
If you're looking at it right now, Turtle, which side are you on? Game's still pretty close.
I'm still on NRG side. I feel like they still have the strong Vi Taliyah combo. I just want to see it happen.
Well, Blaber right now, just making sure that he maintains presence in the jungle, trying to put down a couple of control wards, just trying to keep an eye on where this enemy jungler is going to be. Stop Contractz from finding those ganks, finding that point-and-click guaranteed engages. Dhokla goes to proxy.
Yep, Udyr doing Udyr things. He's got 2 turret plates already on the top side of the map. You mentioned the grubs, the extra pushing power there, extra gold value, help out with the splitting later on too. But Vulcan's now out onto the map. Not quite level 6 here yet for the Bard. Very, very close to get his ultimate for some playmaking.
Close doesn't count. He's immediately got to retreat as NRG sends in more men. Now Jojo retreating back underneath the turret. Seismic shove, just barely not going to find him there. Could have been in some serious danger if it did, but Jojo staying safe enough for now. The flash just about ready to go again, I believe. Does have the ulti ready to cast too, as Vulcan is trying to, again, rotate around, be able to be there, stop any kind of play they're making, but do it carefully enough that he doesn't get caught himself in the process. Contractz on top of a control ward, just waiting to see. If C9 tries to force something, he could turn it around.
Yeah, everybody in the game knows they got eyeballs for Jojo. Flash is back up now for the Azir, though, so it makes it even scarier.
Contractz is in trouble.
Yeah, Contractz getting caught there, trying to use the Vault Breaker, now turns it right back around onto Jojo's Azir, but the flash out of the way of the seismic shove means Contractz is done. C9 gets the first kill as Vulcan goofs the timing. Yeah, that part wasn't great, but the part before it was good for C9.
Yeah, we had timing misses on both sides because Palafox was not ready to follow up on the Contractz ultimate, so he didn't get the seismic shove out of it either. So there was no counter kill for NRG. Another big one here for Cloud9.
All right.
That was very well played by C9. They just had everyone around mid because they knew that the action was going to be there.
Now, NRG will try to at least get something back here on the bottom side. Grab the turret plates. Both TPs used to bring the mid laners back into their lane after the scuffle. A single kill on both of them. Only a couple of difference in CS, but one of the biggest differences right now, the Nashor's Tooth, first full item spike completed for Jojo because Palafox stopped to grab the Sorcerer's Shoes instead of fully investing into the one completed item. So Jojo feeling pretty strong right now, but again, without that flash, without an ulti, he's got to be careful because Vi could always be around. NRG bringing up extra players as Vulcan goes on a magical journey trying to get away. Where is NRG going to go? Who do they decide to chase? Vulcan's your target for now. Abyssal dive coming in to throw him up. NRG knocks him down. Palafox gets paid, and Contractz starts up the Drake.
Honestly, it looked a little bit like NRG were also having the same debate that you were having while you're casting that flowers. You're like, which one are they going to
Where are they going to go?
Well, Palafox flashed towards Jojo, but then they end up getting the kill onto Vulcan anyways, so they do get the dragon. They don't get the chase down onto Jojo, but Dhokla's right back out onto the map, and we see Blaber's currently on the mini-map on the grubs, trying to make sure that NRG, at the very least, will not get 6, and he wants to make sure that they don't get 5 for the extra Void Mites. He doesn't have Smite, though. He used his Smite on the first one, I believe.
Yeah, this could be a problem.
Looks like
okay.
they're going to get 5 here.
Yeah, it's 4 grubs. They're going to try to guarantee that Blaber can't steal away the last one. A TP's coming in. NRG might just have to abandon it here. Jojo gets stopped by the Unraveled Earth. Contractz and the rest of NRG cannot secure the 5th grub. C9 critically preventing the breakpoint, preventing the Void Mites from spawning, as NRG does not want to take the fight any further.
Definitely like this play, too, right afterwards. They just teleport Dhokla down to the bottom side, but Cloud9, like you said, they stopped the critical 5 grub points for that really annoying Udyr split push. Slow it down a tiny bit. Looks like Dhokla's actually not going to go for the turret plate on the bottom side. He just teleported down there just to clear out 1 wave and get his reset off to backside here for Fudge. Honestly, this as the later the game goes, it's going to be really interesting watching, can Jojo actually work through this kind of beefy front line, or is the Vi plus Taliyah plus Senna ultimate over the top combo going to be enough to assassinate him basically through all of this peel that they have?
I think it would be much easier for C9 to play if they actually first engage with the Sejuani and the Bard, just so they can navigate the fight easily. Because I think if Vi Taliyah goes first, it's going to be pretty hard for Jojo.
Yeah, definitely very scary, especially with the extra damage of a Senna ultimate coming over the top.
Yeah.
That 100% to 0 always looks scary when he's got a flash. And Blaber's definitely super tanky right now on the Sejuani. Really beefed up. So him leading the charge, maybe if Vulcan is able to get one of those big Bard ultimates to make it easy to land the follow-up.
Could have some 3v3 action breaking out here. FBI and Huhi want to step up, at least try to challenge Blaber. They're going to steal away the Gromp, but at what cost? Huhi popping the thick skin, trying to get away in time as Jojo's entrance is going to be blocked off by Palafox, but Blaber has already killed the enemy support. Huhi's down, and FBI's about to get knocked out. Berserker takes the kill, and C9's up 7-3.
Honestly, I feel like NRG are their own worst enemies. The biggest Cloud9 plays feels like the defending on the tower dive on bottom and then defending jungle. Again here, another big one for Cloud9.
Honestly, NRG just needs to calm it down a little bit around this bottom lane. Turtle, talk to me a little bit about this situation. As somebody who's played in a professional game like this, you try to make a couple of plays, they end up backfiring. How do you sort of like reset and get yourself back in a mind state to stop those sort of mistakes from continuing?
I think they just have to take a deep breath and recognize their win condition. They really need to get Taliyah and Vi involved in these plays, and I don't think they are right now.
Contractz, well, Vi's getting involved in a play, but is it the play he wants? Jojo's getting locked down here with a start, beautifully done. Contractz, Palafox, and FBI have already found the enemy mid laner, but can they get any more? Blaber with a flashback away, trying to get underneath the tier 1 turret, as Palafox tries to cut him off here with the Weaver's Wall. FBI needs a couple more shots, but Huhi's tongue ain't gonna find the mark. Shut down back over to Senna, still, as Berserker fully retreats, and Vulcan is left to the graveyard. Contractz and FBI both coming right back around, piercing darkness finds him, and Palafox goes on a rampage. NRG get 3.
Action-packed. I love watching NRG play, because even after they fail on the first invade bottom side, then they get right back to it. Another fight, another victory, and they're able to swing the gold lead right back in their favor. Cloud9 with the teleport top for Jojo means that they should be able to at least get a tower in the aftermath, though.
Okay, so C9 will pick this up. We talk about sometimes as gold leads being pendulums that swing back and forth. This one feels like a yo-yo. We're just throwing that thing out and back and out and back. This game's pretty wild with 13 kills at 16 minutes. Still under 1,000 gold separating the two teams. You can see on this graph here, the greatest distance that it was 1,674 in the favor of C9 before that 3-man play that happened at the hands of NRG in the bottom lane. We do have the Herald alive on the map. It's going to be there for another 3 minutes or so still, and I don't think we're going to just see it expire this game. Cloud9 putting a lot of players in the topside river.
All right, I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon, Flowers, because we got a dragon coming up, and NRG grabbing the Scuttle Crab vision first. They've got plenty of wards here looking out for the Cloud9 members coming to try and check too.
Nice job there popping the blast cone.
Got the ghost too.
Yeah. Fudge has to walk away from that one. Remember that Fudge is entirely MR right now. First item is just a Kainic Rookern. Yes, he has tabbies, but that's not worth a ton on its own. As Blaber and the rest of C9, they see at least 2 players from the enemy team in the bottom river. They're going to use the opportunities to secure this Herald for themselves. While NRG's got 3 guys working on the Drake, they should be able to grab that. So a cross-map trade in the objectives. C9's going to look to try to grab some value here from the Eye of the Herald.
Honestly, them opting for Rift Herald and trying to get through that some of this outer tower gold here for either the Azir or the Varus, and just buffing up these DPS champs. The 2 carry comp from Cloud9 with both of them being auto attack based here. I feel like this is definitely setting themselves up for the path to victory for Cloud9. They just have to be able to execute on this team fight and actually keep those 2 carries alive. When Jojo and Berserker have flash, it's definitely playable for Cloud9. When they do not have flash, the NRG dive is so scary though. That combo with Vi guaranteeing the setup for Palafox. One of those 2 carries is definitely going to get annihilated.
I think for Vulcan, he just has to look out for his ulti onto the Taliyah when Vi ultis his Azir.
So you block the Taliyah, stop the follow-up.
Stop the combo.
And then Azir's ready to fire back. Everybody else works together and kills Vi once she dives in. C9 staying together, staying grouped up. They have to have recognized how NRG is trending towards mistakes in this game. If you're grouped up, if you can punish those, NRG can just gift you the game. But NRG with 4 kills on Palafox. All my eyes are on this Taliyah to see if he can get the carry done, to see if he can step up and continue making the types of plays that can deliver them the dub here against Cloud9, get revenge for that first game of the split last month. NRG with control over the mid lane, gonna push things up here. FBI continuing to harvest those souls. The Senna up to 76, 18.5 minutes into the game as NRG controls the bottom side river.
Yeah, honestly, they're just cleaning out more territory where they can look for picks. They've got a lot of options here with the Taliyah ult ready for Palafox to cut people off, but Cloud9 doing their duty here, grouping up again in mid lane, using that Rift Trail, trying to get this outer tower money like we're looking for.
There we go.
Okay, summoned up, going for it. Turret's already down, but now where's the fight gonna go? Contractz here at the very front. He's gonna be gobbled up by Huhi to stay alive. Dhokla wanted an angle. He wanted a pincer attack, but the Sun Disc summoned up to make sure that C9 had a banner to rally around. Dhokla doesn't have an entrance into the fight. NRG still trying to just regain control over the mid lane on their side of the map. The Sun Disc slowly bleeding out. FBI and Palafox trying to keep Fudge away as he steps forward to establish some vision. Control ward down in the brush next to the Raptors, but the chickens are being led on a long journey away from their home. Okay, they're finally going to reset, and the vision gets cleared.
Yeah, both Blaber and Fudge are really good for face checking right now. Trying to get into enemy jungle, push their territory forward, but that's basically the expected value of the objective trade that they saw earlier. You know, when you go for that Rift Trail, you're expecting that's going to be your mid turret, basically guaranteed with that one. Cloud9 do a good job defending their carries, staying strong here in the 5-person setup.
C9's in a really solid position right now for this game. I think they're just waiting on Berserker's second item, and they should be good to start Baron as well.
Blade of the Ruined King already done for him. As long as he's protected well enough to get those auto attacks off, this guy's gonna hurt a lot. But I'm curious if NRG, again, maybe if you can't find Jojo with that Vi Taliyah combo, you just turn it on to Berserker, blow him up instead. Vulcan's really gonna need to be paying attention here with this Bard. Like you already talked about, Turtle, as soon as you see Vi going in, you gotta stop the follow-up.
Defensive Bard ulti is gonna be key. Also, worth noting, Jojo is going for the Lichbane second here because he's got the early Sheen. Nice little price reduction on the component item this patch as well, 100 gold off of Sheen. Really just efficient component now with the ability haste and the proc that's going to give you. But it does mean he's not going to have the Liandry's for the team fight, so isn't going to have the Liandry's for the Tahm, Kench, the Vi, or the Udyr. But he does have really good burst damage, especially with that auto attack coming out so quickly now with the new Lichbane.
I do believe the Lichbane had the base AD ratio nerfed on it a little bit with this patch too, just knocked down ever so slightly. Yup, from 100 down to 75. For a lot of mage champions, it's not super impactful just because most of it's coming from your AP ratio anyway, but still something to be cognizant of as the gold is tied, dead even between these two teams. The Drake is spawning in a little bit over 30 seconds.
And they made the call for Palafox to push out top side first. NRG again trying to play the map here. Look at the mini map. They've got bot and top both pushing for themselves. Dragon coming up shortly here, so they've got their side waves correct. They also have the teleport and the ulti ready for Palafox. Maybe they can get that top tower before Dragon spawns, but Cloud9 stays strong. You mentioned it multiple times, but sticking as 5 with those defensive ultis ready, trying to stand strong and keep Berserker and Jojo safe.
Well, seems like NRG feels weaker right now, so they're just going to give this dragon. They don't even want to fight it.
Exactly. They're just going to surrender it. C9 will grab their second Drake of the game. You can see the Crypt Bloom completed here for Palafox. He went ahead, got the Verdant Barrier second, which I really liked. I think the value of the Spell Shield was pretty high against the composition drafted by C9. But then recognizing, hey, they have 2 massive meatballs, one of which just rushed Kanik Rookern. He needs to be able to penetrate through that magic resistance, as Dokla's going to see if there's an angle here on Jojo.
Palafox could join.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right, NRG has to look for good picks on the side lanes now.
Let's see it. NRG's coming in. Jojo trying to get away. Contractz looking for the chance to go in. Flashes in for the ulti. Over the top comes Senna, but Jojo gets out. Seismic shoving, gonna find him. And NRG could not get the combo executed correctly. C9 gets their mid laner away.
Small little windows there in between the timing. Palafox tried to get there.
Nash here now.
Yeah, they're just gonna start it up. C9 going for this, recognizing, hey, that was a lot of resources. That's Senna ult, that's Taliyah ult, that's Vi ult. That's a lot from the tank of NRG, and C9 is burning the Baron down. They've already got it below 6K, below 5K, down to 4K. Dhokla's coming in trying to stop him, but C9 wants to burn it. Blaber secures the Baron as Fudge tries to dive into the middle of everybody, and Contractz is controlled. Jojo's barely getting away, Abyssal dive onto 4. Fudge is stuck back in the pit as Dhokla tries to tear him up, and FBI's grabbing a shutdown. NRG need to find more. Blaber with a flash out, trying to get himself back to the base while still wearing the purple. He throws out the W, but he gets slowed down by the tongue. FBI still trying to pursue him, still trying to get all the way there, but Blaber escapes underneath the turret. It is Baron over to C9, but at the cost of a 2-for-1 trade.
Oh no!
Into a pause.
Such a good call here to David, running it over as quickly as possible now.
Yeah, we're back into the game.
That was really fast. They must have sent a lot of energy.
Yeah, that was a bunch. Okay, we're back into the game now, 24 minutes in. Slight gold lead for NRG, but you would expect that to swing back into the favor of C9, since like you pointed out, Kobe, they still have the Baron on multiple players.
Okay, got to refocus after the pause. That was the biggest thing. Even Blaber himself was talking about last time when Cloud9 had the big pause. He lost focus. We'll see if... honestly, it's not too bad if a Sejuani this fed actually loses focus. He's so tanky, and he's got the regeneration from his Warmog, so Cloud9 have the ability with Baron buff to push up multiple lanes, and they have really good face checkers here in Blaber and Fudge. They're going to push out mid and then rotate basically everybody over.
Yeah.
Having the Bard makes it so much nicer for your side. A lot more options here with those tunnels.
General observation about the map state too. Hold on, TP's coming in. NRG having to disengage now as Blaber misses the Sejuani ulti. Chains of Corruption also miss. C9 saw what looked like maybe an angle, but they cannot execute successfully, so NRG just walks off from that one. Worth pointing out, C9's got this Baron buff for a little bit over another minute. Once it expires, it'll be about 60 seconds from then until the Drake. So C9 does have the opportunity to set up the Rift for an advantageous position. Remember, with both teams already at 2 Drakes apiece, the next one's going to be Soul Point for someone. Huhi jumps in with the Abyssal dive, but nobody else is close enough to do a lot, especially not with Fudge being the only one here on the front line.
Even though Cloud9 missed the Sejuani ults from good evasive maneuvers from Huhi, and then he flashes the Varus ult, Cloud9 still get an isolated outer turret for Jojo for this Azir that is working on Death Cap, which scales so well considering you added the Lich Bane with another AP ratio onto him. So Jojo approaching 3 core for Jojo and for Berserker. NRG, they got to start feeling the pressure here. They might start feeling a little desperate. We might see another one of these super deep aggro plays from them. Contractz has flash, Palafox has flash. They really need to make good on one of those picks and try and get someone from Cloud9 isolated, get some of those key summoner spells off of the Cloud9 carries. Because if those two are just safe, the Azir and the Varus right now will demolish you.
Well, Baron has faded, gentlemen. It is 60 seconds until the Drake spawns. We don't really see a whole lot happening in that bot side river right now. There is currently NRG Vision controlling it, but a couple of Cloud9 wards on the back side of the pit to also see if NRG is trying to make more of an entry into that part of the rift, right now, as C9 is more focused on the top side. They've got all 5 players either in mid or in that top side river area as Jojo is set up to push top lane.
They seem really content with farming right now on the Azir.
Yeah, look at this. How nice is it to have 2 people shadowing? Blaber and Vulcan, the 2 babysitters, to come watch Jojo farm on the side lanes. They're like, please, just eat up a little bit more money here.
I'm surprised they didn't want to. Oh,
he's going for Zhonya's instead of the Death Cap here.
It's pretty smart versus the Vi, I think.
Yeah.
It's their only win condition.
He got the Seeker, so he has an active already for a stopwatch to deny that Cloud9 play. Really smart, or deny that energy play. Cloud9 really
Looks
smart.
like a fight might break out here.
Yeah, we got NRG on the approach. A TP coming into the mid lane from Palafox, who he's going to be caught by the Bard ulti, but he's the only target. Now he's got to try to tank it up. Senna ult over the top, who he's still at about half HP. Fudge coming in, looking to complete the dive as Berserker goes on a rampage. Dhokla is thrown back into the team. All out goes Fudge, all in goes Contractz, but he's 1v5. He ain't alive. Everybody died at C9. 3 for nothing.
There you go, right into their hands. They have scaled. Cloud9 protect, and they collect. Dragon number 3.
That was good. That was smooth. That was slick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure once the Varus also gets a stopwatch, this game should be over.
Yeah, really good. Immediately use the Seeker's arm guard right after purchasing, but honestly, they already had the advantage in the team fight here. You know, where they're getting so much free damage on
Palafox is just too far. He TP'd to the mid tower. He just wasn't close enough for this fight.
Yeah, so they get a really big head start in the health bars here. Lots of free damage onto that NRG front line. And then, yeah, it was all lost.
This game's looking really hard for NRG now.
Cloud9 currently in the process of bouncing back from their super weak losses here. They have been able to stay strong.
Can't break the streak here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I was saying I wanted to see Berserker and Vulcan also not have the same kind of mistakes that they had last week. Berserker is currently 4-0-4 on the Varus. Blaber, in all the losses that C9 had for Super Week, a lot of people were complaining that he didn't have the same level of presence and pressure that you would normally expect from him. 3-1-7 here on the Sejuani, only 1 kill that he hasn't been a part of here for this team. Let's see if this engage works out in mid lane as Huhi turned into a golden statue once again. They're going to put the burst into the Tahm. Kench and Jojo sits him down. C9 have picked up 1, and the Baron is alive on the Rift. Now NRG are once again tasked with trying to stop it. They now know how fast C9 is at taking this. Blade of the Ruined King Varus plus the Azir. This is so difficult for NRG to stop, but they're making the approach. C9 already have it down to below half HP, down to about 1/3 now. Dhokla and Contractz, they just know they can't approach. All this is going to be is a team fight loss on top of a Baron if they go in for it. C9 still chasing, seeing if maybe they can pick one up at the back end of things. Senna for the disengage. Fudge goes over the wall. Q3 won't hit anybody. Magical Journey don't matter. Pathmaker gets him out. All right. No kills on the back, but C9 is happy to turn a pick into a Baron. Never mind, we ain't done yet. Contract's gonna be caught here with the top. Senna ulti trying to reinforce him, keep him protected, but Fudge does a lot of damage. Contract's still alive as Jojo gets away into the back. Palafox wants to chase, and Jojo's on the run. Palafox goes in, but Jojo shovels him right back. Palafox denied, NRG died, and C9 is loving the way this mid-game's been going. Dhokla was trying to get away, but no, sir. Fudge knocks him down.
And Berserker's ending the game the whole time. Berserker's just over here annihilating towers.
That's the ADC dream right there.
He's inside the base, so are the rest of Cloud9, and they're going for it.
Cloud9 had a rough week last time around, but they're ready to stop that here. Huhi is not going to stop anything on his own. The C9 loss streak will grind to a halt as they defeat NRG again, 16-8.
Jojo gave,
that game really just cracked open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were able to scale. They were able to play it safe here.
I was really, yeah, the coordination from NRG was just off, I feel like, this game.
NRG, Kobe, you said it best. Back at the start, NRG was just giving them stuff. Cloud9 playing well, but playing reactively, not having that pressure on them to have to make things happen, because NRG's just like, all right, we're YOLOing it. Go, go, go. Bot lane, PvP, PvP. And it didn't work out for them. NRG's going to have to really work on the coordination if they want to play that crazy, play that out of pocket. But for C9, you got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief.